Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 are preparing to excite gamers with ambitious productions in 2025. Legendary returns of series, big debuts, and games that push the boundaries in technical terms will make a name for themselves this year. Let's take a look at these games that will impress both existing users and those looking for a new console.
Let's go! Yahoo!
Mario Kart, one of Nintendo's most established series, is now turning its course to the open world with World. You are no longer just racing on tracks, you are also part of the race as you explore the city street by street. The game goes beyond the ordinary with its driving freedom, dynamic weather conditions, and massive online battles of 24 people. One of the most striking aspects of this structure is the change of tempo that comes with new modes such as Knockout Tour. This new formula, which transforms the concept of entertainment without straying from the path, clearly shows how Nintendo has given a new direction to the world of games. However, after a game where everything is so open, there is a much narrower, much more cramped but equally striking battlefield next. Street Fighter VI takes years of fighting mechanics and reshapes them with the power of the Switch 2. Every punch, every combo feels more precise, harder, and more satisfying. New control systems add accessibility to the game while not losing any of its depth. The World Tour mode is different enough to surprise even those familiar with the series. You don't just fight, you become a part of this world. While tactical options increase with the variety of characters, each match is like a battle of memory. Unlike the fast-paced games on this list, Street Fighter VI requires awareness as much as reflexes.
All right! That was no sweat at all!
Split fiction gives a completely different meaning to the co-op structure. In the story of two writers stuck between fiction and reality, you direct not only the characters but also the course of events. Every decision made throughout the game can lead to completely different results. The tone change between the sections as well as the visual narrative keeps the player constantly alert. This narrative style offers a much more personal connection than the artificial intelligence or physics-based games we encounter on the list. Preferring to make the story live rather than tell it, Split fiction leaves its own pace in the hands of the player. A dark atmosphere, a creepy world, and a story told without needing words. Little Nightmares the 3 takes these strong elements of the series even further, this time with two-character gameplay. In this world where low and alone can be guided together or separately, every corner is a threat, every silence is a warning. Environmental puzzles, level design, and creature variety are bolder and more experimental than in previous games. The simplicity of the visual design has been preserved, but the attention to detail has increased. Fear is not just a feeling in this game, it is also a guiding force. Returning to the Kalos region is not only a nostalgic decision for the Pokémon universe, but also a new beginning. Its structure, based on the reconstruction of Lumiose City, gives the player a sense of belonging along with the drive to explore. The free movement and real-time battle system have been improved with lessons learned from the previous Legends game. Every street, every creature, every interaction represents a more natural and intertwined world. Thanks to the graphical details and spatial density, this time the city really feels like a living ecosystem. Lost Hellden is a production that tries to carry the JRPG genre forward, not only with its gameplay, but also with its philosophical subtexts. Its story, shaped around the 7 deadly sins, places the characters at the center of a moral conflict rather than being simple representations. Hand-drawn animations make the story told more tactile. The branching structure of the choice system offers a different story experience to each player. Although the turn-based battle system remains true to its classic JRPG roots, it captures a modern flavor with strategic details. The tone of the game is heavy, but definitely not compelling. You feel the burden of the characters too. It's not eye-catching, but there is a kind of workmanship here that you can't take your eyes off. While there is a huge fighting game like Street Fighter VI on the list, the path followed by Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact represents a very different line. This game stands out not with its mechanical depth, but with its character-based systems. The 2D fighting structure carries the spirit of the classic arcade, but each character's unique Nen ability adds strategic layers to the gameplay. The rhythm of the combos is simpler, but extremely effective when used at the right time. While the animations remain true to the anime, the details of the arenas and special effects turn each match into a visual spectacle. While mastery in Street Fighter is hidden in muscle memory, here, character knowledge and correct use of technical advantages come to the fore. This game, prepared with a dedication that goes beyond fan productions, appeals to anime fans and does not leave fighting game enthusiasts indifferent. Wild Hearts S, where you track giant creatures, offers an experience that requires patience as well as strategy in the war against nature. Inspired by feudal Japan, this atmospheric game leaves the player face to face not only with powerful enemies, but also with the ever-changing environment. Thanks to the mechanisms called karakuri, you can shape the battlefields according to yourself and set tactical traps. The hunting system is based on planning and correct timing, as well as fast reflexes. It is fascinating with its visual world, but it has a structure that requires you to be on the alert at all times. This state of conflict with nature takes on a much more entertaining form in the next game, but it also requires environmental awareness. Donkey Kong Bananza breaks the classic platforming formula and builds a much more interactive and reactive world in its place. You're no longer just overcoming obstacles. Every interaction you make with the environment directly affects the flow of the game. Crumbling ground, falling trees, or suddenly changing route dynamics turn each level into a little surprise box. Donkey Kong's raw power is used more like a tool than brute force this time around, to open paths, break obstacles, shape the environment. The physics-based gameplay underlying the colorful atmosphere creates a fast but demanding pace. Compared to Wild Hearts S's tactical use of the environment, everything here depends on reflexes and split-second decisions. Seeing two different tones of the same language will make playing these two games back-to-back a lot of fun. Bravely Default, a tribute to the golden era of the JRPG genre, is back on stage with its HD remaster version. The classic turn-based combat system leaves the balance of risk-taking and defense entirely up to the player thanks to the Brave and Default mechanics. Each move becomes a strategic investment for the next round. While its story may seem familiar on the surface, it draws the player in with its structure that unfolds layer by layer over time. Thanks to the visual refresh, the hand-drawn backgrounds are more vibrant, and the character animations are more fluid. The intuitive tempo in Kunitsu-Gami turns into planning here. It requires waiting for a turn, waiting for the right moment, not reflexes. For those who want to get away from the fast-paced structure of modern JRPGs and play thoughtfully, this game will be a longed-for return. Inspired by Japanese mythology, Capcom's unique action strategy game opens the doors to a spiritual world with every detail. In the game, you save villagers during the day and defend them against demon attacks at night. This cycle combines combat and planning on the same level. Area layout, timing, and mission priorities make gameplay not just reflex-based, but thought-based. A highly stylized experience is offered with its color palette, music, and enemy designs. In this structure, where every move you make has meaning, the player is expected not only to be successful, but also to catch the rhythm. Kunitsu-Gami works more like a ritual than an ordinary action game, and with this feature, it becomes one of the rare productions on the list that follows its own path. Survival is sometimes not about big systems or long quest lists, but about what you do with what you find. Survival Kids drops you on a deserted island without any explanation. There is no map, no quest, no guide. Not starving, surviving the night, protecting yourself from poisonous plants. Everything depends on your observation and intuition. Every material you obtain is valuable. Every decision can be irreversible. The simplicity of the game does not hide its harshness. On the contrary, it makes it feel more direct. Sometimes a coconut, sometimes a small cave allows you to live another day. And as those days pass, you develop habits, not systems. A quiet but effective game for those who want to experience being truly alone. Ridge Racer is a game that reminds us how pure and fluid arcade racing games can be. There are no vehicle modifications, no complicated systems, just corners, speed, and control. This version brings the game to the present day without changing its essence. The drifting mechanics are still central and, when implemented correctly, allow you to completely determine the rhythm of the race. The tracks are short but designed to encourage repeat play. Everything is straightforward and intuitive. You enter the race, the road is in front of you, the goal is clear. Although the graphics have been updated, the old spirit is still felt. Ridge Racer delivers what it already needs to deliver without trying to offer more, and it still does it very well.
I've got this covered.
Demon Slayer. The Hinokami Chronicles 2 comes as a sequel that balances visuals and combat without falling into the superficiality often seen in anime adaptations. The story mode progresses by maintaining the tempo of the anime, and the fights feel like an extension of the scene narrative, not just pressing buttons. Although the characters' abilities are presented as a visual show, each one also makes a difference in terms of gameplay. The animation quality is high, the transitions are smooth, and the atmosphere is faithful but impressive. While the arcade feel dominates in other anime-based fighting games like Hunter x Hunter, the narrative is more prominent here. The gameplay does not hide behind the showiness. It draws you directly into the scene. This sets it apart from its peers. In addition to the most anticipated productions, familiar but strong names are also preparing to take the stage. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition invites players to the dark streets of Night City, adorned with neon lights. Bringing together the main story and the Phantom Liberty expansion, this version presents a dystopian future in its most visual and narrative form. Next up is Yakuza 0, Director's Cut. Set in 80s Japan, this version tells the story of Kiryu and Majima's youth in a much more impressive way with renewed graphics and an improved combat system. Street culture, absurd humor, and dramatic stories are once again in perfect balance. In the depths of space, a name that has been silent for a long time is returning. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Samus's new journey is preparing to attract new players as well as old fans with its atmospheric structure and exploration-focused progression. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition reopens a familiar world with new content. With expanded areas, challenging enemies, and mysterious new layers, this version is determined to deepen the impact of the first game even more. In another story set in the far corners of the galaxy, Star Wars Outlaws leaves control in the hands of a fugitive character this time. This free world, outside of the Jedi and Sith, invites the player to an adventure shaped by their own choices. And finally, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade brings the dark streets of Midgar back to life. The story, expanded with the Yuffie episode, also includes serious improvements in technical terms and gives a brand new face to a classic legend.